chance.
Well, they had a man deep on his own, but O'Halpin couldn't quite. It was a beautiful kick by O'Halpin to Garlett, and then Garlett goes to that man forward. Wait, no, well done, getting back Blake. Betts is dangerous here. Gwilt arched his back, and then decided with a little one to come across. Can the Saints get one here? McWalter, it's down the line. It's to Stephen from Schneider. Stephen running hard. Cossey's got to take a mark. Kicks it inside. Oh, well done, White. He's a fast learner.
That was terrific by White, just ghosting across. Now he finds Scotland.
Take your lead.
Even the umpire agreed with you, Lee. You would have won a Brownlow if they liked you that much a few years ago, Lee.
Lucas, Johnson, moments ago precise around that outer side wing, and they're doing it again. Simpson held up this time as the Saints really work hard to get back. Jones, just for the moment, not with anyone, just a spearman across half-back. Don't know about that. Maybe it's just that feeling of ultimate power. Just do it because it feels good. He kicks it beyond the wing, clears the pack. O'Halpin goes after it. It's out of bounds.
Is that a universal message, that holding the ball in the air? But we think we know what he's thinking, but what is he actually signaling to his team?
It's a universal message. It's got about 25 different definitions, I reckon.
No, it's Esperanto. The ball comes behind the pack. Ray, Jones, that's better. Blake feeds it forward. McWalter down towards half forward. Kazitsky takes the mark. Ironic cheers, I think, from his own fans. Goes across towards Hayes. Telling kick, it bounces down towards the pocket. Gilbert, he might snap it back from here. Could have been pushed in the back. No free kick. Yaron got there in the nick of time. Lucas comes out and finds White.
Yeah, Yaron's important there. Just his pace.
What it actually is, it's often not necessarily playing into St Kilda's hands and playing their game. Carlton are playing at a really fast tempo that is taxing on the game. So you'd almost suggest that the Carlton players are driving it themselves because they feel the heat of the game. They need to conserve some energy and counter-attack again.
Fisher not given the mark. Little give by Dawson. He kicked the winner last year against Carlton. Danger here, Graham. He did fetch it. Hayes to Ray. Ray tucks it under the arm and then goes wide to Kazitsky. That stretches a hamstring or two because he couldn't get away from Jamison. Fought hard, Kazitsky. Well done. Played it well. Del Santo has been so quiet. That's a good kick. Oh, he's missed it, Ray. Geary hooking and not going far enough. Well, the Saints. Now Lucas.
Ambles out of defence. Simpson dominating that side of the ground when they're coming out at the moment, which probably indicates they're just running harder to get out there, and that's a good sign. Gibbs back to Lucas. Russell wants and demands the football. He's got it. Now White is on. Not necessarily the man they want to have the ball in his hands, but he's taken on the responsibility here. And that's been a problem for the Saints too. The ball has been finishing up with decisions being made by players who don't normally make the decisions. Players like Del Santo are normally the players who make the decisions with the football. Not tonight. Betts goes in short. Jacobs has got it. We've seen McWalter on occasions being asked to do something with a footy. Houlihan, beautiful kick. Good defence too, getting back. Blake knows no other way, knocks it out of bounds.
Carlton actually played that perfectly. They took the heat off the game, but it was continual ball movement. They backed their leg and get the ball going forward. So if you can take your time, as long as you're making yardage forward, I think that's probably the best result you can get.
And when you've got the big lead, you can afford to be a little bit more conservative. You don't have to take the risks as much.
Gardner and Jacobs. Good tap by Gardner. Hayes hacks it forward. Armfield takes a good mark. Well, the last minute and a half was pretty important before halftime with the Graham goal. Let's see how this one plays itself out. I mean, another Carlton goal, and surely that would be it. They do need a goal here, the Saints. Armfield to Joseph. Well, it was a revealing night Monday night last year when Collingwood were thrashed by St Kilda, and you feel tonight it's just as revealing in the opposite way. Armfield. When did Nick Revolt say he'd be back playing? Back goes Armfield to Joseph, to Scotland. We talked about holding their nerve, Tom. We talked about that in the first 15 minutes of the match, didn't we?
I think it's a bit easier to hold your nerve with a 7-goal lead.
No doubt about that.
Yeah.
The scoreboard release pressure as a player, do you reckon?
Oh, without a doubt. Yep.
Oof.
Jard held up, still got half a handball away. So they've increased their lead in this third term.
I think you mentioned it before, Tom, that the ability that they ran really hard the whole game. So if they can have a few minutes to just rest while they're maintaining possession, that's good tactics at this point of the game with this lead.
22 seconds to go. Judd at the face of the pack immediately attracts a crowd, and the umpire will have to do it again. About 9 seconds run off the clock. We're down to 15 seconds. Still time enough for both sides to score. Gibbs and Goddard having their own war. Almost waiting to be tackled there, Jones.
Hasn't Andy Carrazzo done a fantastic job on Nick Del Santo tonight? I haven't seen Del Santo 3 kicks, 2 hand passes, five disposals. That's unheard of.
Gardner has done okay first hand of the ball. Hacked out of midair by Garlett across the line on the full. So it's virtually three-quarter time. I think this will be the last action of the term. Graham kicks down towards the 50. There's the siren. And Carlton have increased their lead. The next term it's got bigger. Three-quarter time. Carlton 14-9-93. St Kilda 7-9-51. Monday Night Football.
The other player, if St Kilda are to kick anywhere near a winning score, of course, is Justin Kaziski.
Yeah.
I mean, he's their big target in their forward 50, and he just has been pretty much outplayed by Jamison the whole night.
I think Nick was doing a bit of arithmetic with you too, Dennis. 7 goals or we need another 8. He was just working out whether it was possible.
It's an awkward one for him because you can't say no. But at the same time,
In game day at the end, can we ask what St Kilda are going to be like without Rewald now that they're finally suffering from it?
that's the problem. No number 12. It makes it hard at times, doesn't it? No go-to guy on the forward line that suddenly can just come up with 4 or 5 goals in 1 quarter of footy. Here's Judd meantime. As Carlton surge forward again, Gibbs gave it across to Scotland. It was touched off the boot. Judd once more. Like a virtuoso. Hooks it down at full forward. O'Halpin almost. Goes again. Didn't move it very far. Wilt ran into a dead end. Houlihan stands up in the tackle. Down he goes. And the umpire will ball it up 15 metres out.
Judd's just so difficult to bring down. I know it's so obvious,
So
but
strong.
he's built that body into a real battering ram. He's always been explosive, but he's got stronger as he's got older. Off the ground by Gibbs. And heard the umpire knock it out. Out it comes. Now Graham has kicked a couple of goals. That's a wild kick. Well done by Russell. And now White keeps his head, but he couldn't quite. And Del Santo, who's had such a quiet game, 5 disposals to three-quarter time, which is remarkable, along with Fisher. Del Santo's been averaging 27 disposals in each match this year. Montagna also well down. Scotland's been terrific. Couldn't quite get it out, though. But this will suit the Blues. Every minute that goes by won't worry them in the least, as long as it's in their forward 50.
You wonder about the turnaround that the St Kilda players have had. They played last Friday and are now playing on a 10-day break till Monday, whether you actually lose your mojo during the week. It's an interesting concept to talk about.
Cruiser hooks it down behind. Judd is through. Judd has kicked the goal. Wonderful stuff. Farmer to Goggin. Cruiser to Judd.
That is fantastic. I mean, good hit out by Cruiser to get it into Judd's line. But I tell you what, how many times have we seen that in the old Eagles days? I know we're going back a few years when Judd would be in the middle of the stoppage, but he would just accelerate 2 or 3 steps clear and kick accurately at top speed.
He's always going to be a tough player to defend at stoppages, but Goddard just caught on the wrong side. And you're right, he's back in that sort of Eagles-type form. It's quite scary.
Let's have a look at this. Judd from the back into the space. Ball fell beautifully and bang.
Yeah.
I reckon Jeannie Pratt would be happy right